Hello, underachievers. So I am gay, and I'm also trans a bit, and this is relevant information. I'm not just saying it to say it. This video is about Pride. So on Saturday the 20th of June, I did a Pride live stream with an app called Yubo. Yubo is a free live streaming social media app that allows you to make new friends and chat with people literally all over the world. I actually really love the app. You can like guest other Yubo members and just talk to them like you're in like a group chat, but it's also a live stream. I really like it. It feels a lot more intimate than other live streaming apps. So Yubo actually has an amazing LGBT community, and you know, with what's going on around the world right now in the situation, a lot of Prides have been cancelled this year. Thankfully, Yubo decided to bring Pride online and organise a global one-day Pride event. It was a live stream event. Obviously, I took part in it. It was actually pretty fun. I met a lot of cool people. So this is how it turned out.
Hold on.
I've got one.
I'm so sorry, I'm just really
shocked.
Go away.
I know, my heart's racing from my heart.
How did I come out? I came out, I texted my mum on Facebook. I sent her a link to the page of trans on Wikipedia, and she was like, "Is this you?" And I was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "I love you."
So the main reason behind me live streaming on Yubo was to actually share with you guys my best and my worst Pride experiences, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today. So obviously I've been to a lot of Prides. I've had some really good and some really bad moments. There are some honourable mentions that I just like to, you know, talk about right now. So the first honourable mention was my first Pride in Brighton Pride 2016. The highlight of that was I just saw lots of shirtless men. Yeah. And another positive honourable mention was Brighton Pride 2017, where I passed so well pre-T and pre-surgery that, you know, people who were walking in the parade just decided to stick stickers on my chest, because it looked so flat, and I was like, ooh. They think I'm a guy. For worst moments, you know, London Pride last year, London Pride 2019, I had to queue for about an hour to get into the Pride Festival. And thinking about this one's really painful. Brighton Pride 2016, I got really sunburned after the parade. We went on the beach. It was a great time, but I didn't wear sun cream, and this is what happened. Let's get on to my ultimate best Pride experience. So here's what I said on Yubo.
So I'd say my best Pride experience was at Trans Pride Brighton 2018.
It was actually 2017.
It was like the first time I actually felt like part of the community, like the trans community. There were people handing out free hugs. There were people just consoling each other. It was just like a really positive vibe, but it was also like a protest vibe. Like, we were actually fighting for something.
I actually went into more detail on Yubo, and you would have known that if you were there. Don't worry, I'm probably going to be streaming on there a lot more, but you should follow me there. This is my username. It's just no offense. So this was my first ever trans Pride. It was actually my first year out as trans. I went there with a few friends, some of which were trans, some of which weren't. And for some reason, I don't know why, we dressed like this. My friend had a bunch of like Pride pants. We just decided to wear them over our trousers, I don't know why. And for some reason I found Alex Bertie and asked him for a picture, which is kind of awkward and kind of funny because we're friends now, but he doesn't know that I did this, so. Pretty much what happened with the day is that we arrived there was a big crowd. This is because the start of the event was a march that anybody could march in. There was a group of people drumming in the middle of the crowd, and not gonna lie, I was really tempted to nick their sticks. So the reason I think of this as my best Pride moment was kind of because the other Prides that I've been to kind of felt more like a celebration of queerness, which is very important, and it's very needed, but this Pride, which was Trans Pride, felt more like a protest than any other Prides I've been to. We marched through Brighton, you know, chanting all the chants. Trans men are men, trans women are women. And also one I had never heard of before, we're here, we're queer, we're fabulous, don't frick with us. It was really great because I actually felt like I was finally part of something. I actually felt like part of a community, which I didn't necessarily feel before. I had only just come out that year, so I'd never really been in an openly trans space. There were lots of talks about reforming the Gender Recognition Act, which you can look up what that is. I don't have time to explain it now. But the day just kind of felt important. We ended up marching to a park, and the vibe at the park was just like really great. It was really positive. There were parents and grandparents going around giving free hugs. They were wearing free hug shirts, and I'm sure that meant a lot to people because, you know, like, there are a lot of trans people that have been kicked out of their house or like disowned because of them being trans, and it must have been really nice to, you know, like, if I had been kicked out by my mum for being trans and then I saw someone who was a mum just wearing free hugs, I'd just be like, wow, I needed that. It was just positive vibes only. Speaking of vibes, here are some negative vibes. So I actually have two worst Pride moments, and luckily neither of them are bad. I know a lot of people have had like really bad experiences of Pride because of people that aren't so accepting. I've never really had anything that bad, but you know, here are some annoying ones. So here's what I said on Yubo.
So Trans Pride Brighton 2018-2017 was great, but my worst Pride experience, I would say, well, one of the worst, was that That Pride, it was so rainy, I was soaked. We had to run and hide under someone's porch to hide from the rain.
So as I said, this was at the end of Trans Pride. It was positive vibes only. It was a great time. It was delightful. It was friendly. Except this happened.
What the is this weather? Really good weather.
I have never been so wet in my life, and I really hate being wet. I have sensory issues, and the feeling of like wet jeans clinging to my legs and getting wet socks and them like, it makes me feel ill. It was dreadful. And I actually love rain, don't get me wrong, I love rain, but I don't love rain when I'm wearing jeans and I'm like hours away from home and I have to get a train home and I was not comfortable. And to make matters worse, we were really hungry after, you know, marching, after chilling in the sun for ages. So we were like, oh yeah, let's go get McDonald's. I'm really excited to have a burger and some nuggets. But we walked 40 minutes to go to McDonald's, but it was closed. How can you close McDonald's? Like, I don't get it. It was so disappointing. So the second worst thing that happened that I also mentioned on Yubo was this. So this was last summer, you know, London Pride 2019. So I was having a great time. It was my first year after being on testosterone for a while. I'd had top surgery. I felt confident. I felt happy. I had a boyfriend for the first time in my life, and having a boyfriend at Pride is like, I felt like super gay. So we had a really long day. It had been really hot, and we were on our way home. And some guy who was all prided up, you know, he had all the colors on. He was all happy and festivally. He just walked straight up to me, looked me in the eye, and he said, haha, you look like a lesbian. Now, there is nothing wrong with looking like a lesbian. There is also nothing wrong with being a lesbian. Obviously, we're all good. We're all good at that. But I'm a guy. And I'm a trans guy. People had assumed I was a lesbian for years. Literally, all throughout school, people just assumed I was a lesbian, no matter how much I talked about how much I loved men and how much I was attracted to men. I'm a guy who is into guys. That is literally the opposite of a lesbian. I was dressed like this, so maybe he thought that wearing dungarees made you look like a lesbian. I don't know. What does a lesbian even look like? I wasn't upset, I was just confused as to what possessed this guy to like, come up to me on that day, look me in the eye and say, you look like a lesbian. I just don't understand it at all. I don't. It's all good though. I'm fine. But yeah. Those are my best and worst moments of Pride. Thank you to Yubo for the ad. And please go check out Yubo. I don't have to say this. I genuinely do like the app. It just like, it reminds me of when I was 16 and I'd first started live streaming and I was like, hey, it's actually like fun to talk to people. This is enjoyable. I can meet new people that I would never have met otherwise. But yeah, let me know about your best and worst Pride moments in the comments. That's the end of the video. Have a good day or don't. See you later, losers. Goodbye. I punch. I punch. I punch.